Hey, Minorcan Navy, Captain Andy coming to you. Got another special treat for you guys today. And we've talked about it a couple times, but in the Port of Brunswick, currently, that area is being dredged, and the equipment that's there is actually the Dredge Brunswick. So we couldn't help ourselves. We got out today and took a look at the dredge operation. Look at the business end of the dredge. Now, this cutter head is spinning down in the water at the base, and they predetermine how deep they're going to go with this thing. They set it, and then they kind of pivot the crane back and forth across this area. Now, as this cutter head is turning, it's grabbing that silt and mud material. If you remember the tugboat videos we've seen and how much silt was turned up, well, the dredge is in there trying to remove some of that material. But as it turns and breaks that stuff, there's a pump system that is pulling all that material through the dredge, out the back, and through a just long system of piping. And it takes that material back over to the spoil island, which is right across from the port, and it pumps it up there. And there it'll sit. Maybe one day this island will be developed into possibly another shipping area, maybe with some docks and warehouses or something along those lines. But and that's for the future. But here we go, just kind of taking a look at the system. And the dredge is just a long, massive pump and cutting system. And on that system, of course, you have to house the crew. And this is their housing. You can see that there's a title on each door referencing the staterooms that are there that the crew uses. Here we can see the shaft turning the cutter head, and then also those pulleys right there in the front. That's the system that makes the dredge kind of pivot back and forth and move that cutter head over the bottom. And then it's turning, it's cutting the swath across there, and then they'll move up a little bit, and they'll repeat the process until they get the material moved out of there that they want. Closer look at the accommodations. We think that a tour of this piece of equipment would be awesome. Here we see some of the crew coming by. They notice us and say hello. They're going to give us a quick wave. And we've got another crew guy that's coming up, and he's excited to be there, and he shows his enthusiasm for seeing us, and he seems to be enjoying what he is doing. We're going to take a look now at the whole length of the system, starting with the cutter head that's down below that boom, down through the dredge, out the back, and then the system of piping that moves that material. And you'll notice that some of this piping floats and some of it is submerged. It'll drop down and go completely out of sight, then it'll come back up, and then it joins a system of piping that is on the spoil area. This is actually known as Andrews Island there in the Port of Brunswick. And we can see that pipe kind of running along this system just a long way. You can imagine the amount of force and the pumping system necessary to move this material this far. It's a long way. And this whole area has been built up from the deposits, not only here in this side at the Mayor's Point Terminal, but also the Colonel's Island facility that is kind of across the river where the roll-on, roll-off ships come in to load and unload the vehicles, farm equipment, earth-moving equipment, all those kind of things. It's right on the other side, and it has to be dredged as well. There's so much silt in our water that it is a necessary maintenance process. If they didn't maintain the depth of the port for the modern ships that come in and the amount of room that they need, they'd be out of business quickly. Here you can see that thick slurry of water and silt coming out, being pumped out there. And eventually, after this builds up, it'll be moved around. They have some heavy earth moving equipment out there, and they'll move this around as need be. But look at the distance here back to the dredge. Long way for that material to be pumped. But the dredge, it takes up so much space. Now, when they move shipping traffic or those large barges that we've seen with sections of the Golden Ray, they've need additional room coming through here, and the dredge has to kind of swing back out of the way, and they may actually have to break this pipe and move the pipe out of the way to ensure that the larger traffic has enough room to navigate safely these waters coming by. So it's a process, and it seems that with the dredge, nothing is easy, but something that's got to be done. You see, everything that moves on the dredge comes by boat. They're constantly moving personnel and whatever it takes to operate the crane with these boats. They're in and out all the time. I can imagine that all their food, water, everything they need to operate has got to be brought out here to the rig while it's in operation. Hey, did you like the video? Well, if you did, let us know by hitting a thumbs up. If you love the video, really tell us by hitting that subscribe link and subscribing to the channel. Share the video. Give us some comments. We love getting the comments. Hey, most of all, we want you guys to stay safe out there.